SKOL Vikings, let's win this game.
Attention Vikings fans. Purple and gold kicked off the season with emotions tied together like chapters of the same drama. A quarterback who looked like he was sinking but clawed out a win at the wire. A defense that, without its trusted linebacker, exposed weaknesses that could be costly. The front office's bold choice to gamble on the future instead of the safety net many demanded. Eyes already locked on the draft, where a secondary upgrade might be the missing piece. And, to top it off, a rookie offensive lineman who played with veteran maturity and became a symbol of renewal. All that and more, you're about to find out right now. Welcome. Support this Vikings community with a like and a comment. When the pressure was at its peak, when every second weighed a ton, the fans witnessed a new chapter in Vikings history being written. J.J. McCarthy, who looked completely lost through 3 quarters, flipped the switch and led a stunning comeback against the Bears at Soldier Field. Picture it. 3 full quarters without a single connection to Justin Jefferson, shaky throws, a pick 6, and a brutal scoreboard showing an 11-point hole. Many already thought it would be a bitter season-opening loss, but in that exact moment, the fire was lit. In the 4th quarter, McCarthy lit up the field. First, he found Jefferson with confidence, bringing back that superstar energy the wide receiver always carries. It wasn't just a pass, it was a statement. The offense was back. Right after, the young quarterback hit Aaron Jones for another touchdown and converted a 2-point play, pulling applause even from fans who had been heading for the exits. The Bears' defense couldn't figure it out. The comeback was in the air, but the night still had a final twist. With the game still on the line, McCarthy used his legs to seal it. A 14-yard run carrying not just the ball, but the weight of an entire franchise banking on him as its future. That rushing touchdown didn't just stretch the lead to 10 points, it made every Vikings fan explode with joy. Even when Chicago scored late and got the ball back with just seconds left, destiny was already written. Purple walked away with a 27-24 win. And it wasn't just the result. It was the way McCarthy carried himself. In his post-game interview, he emphasized collective belief and the importance of being in sync with every teammate. Simple words, but they revealed maturity beyond his age. Kevin O'Connell made it clear the right play calls were part of it. But what truly changed the game was the belief the team felt in number 9's eyes. For the doubters, the answer came on the field. Fans, of course, celebrated like it was playoff football. The internet blew up with praise, memes, and comparisons to legendary career starts. From "he's not ready" to "he's the guy," the narrative flipped in minutes. McCarthy wrapped up his first night as a starter with 2 touchdown passes, 1 rushing score, and a quarterback rating close to 100. Solid numbers, but nowhere near capturing the emotional punch of a comeback like that. The next update brings some real concern for Kevin O'Connell and the entire Vikings fan base. The win in Chicago was a relief, but it also flashed a red flag that could weigh heavy in the weeks ahead: the injury to Blake Cashman. The linebacker, a central piece in Brian Flores' aggressive scheme, left in the 3rd quarter after pulling up with a hamstring issue while chasing Caleb Williams. No contact, just a muscle failing at the wrong time. For the fans, the impact was immediate. If the defense already struggled to cover the middle, Cashman's absence left gaping holes. And in the very first game, when everything was supposed to be celebration, last year's numbers show exactly how important this guy is. More than 100 tackles, constant quarterback pressure, and rare awareness covering the middle of the field. The exact spot Flores exposes to unleash his creative blitzes. In 2023, when Cashman missed 3 games, the defense collapsed. That 2-loss stretch saw opponents rack up nearly 400 total yards per game. Coincidence? Hard to believe. Without him, the brain of the defense loses coordination, and opposing offenses find shortcuts to move the chains. On Monday, Eric Wilson stepped in. The veteran, returning to where he first signed back in 2017, even managed to shine with 5 tackles and a blocked punt that fueled the comeback. But as much as he hustles, the gap in speed and instinct compared to Cashman is huge. Wilson can hold things together for a few weeks, but banking on him as the long-term fix is too risky for a team with big dreams. The worst part is the early reports aren't promising, and MRI should confirm it, but everything points to several weeks out. Some even believe he won't be back until after the Week 6 bye. If that's the case, the front office will need to decide whether to place Cashman on injured reserve to open up a roster spot. A tough call, but one that could provide flexibility. The frustration grows because injuries have haunted Cashman on other teams. The Jets and Texans know that story well. Just when it seemed like he found stability in Minnesota, bad luck showed up again. For the fans, it's a mix of hope for recovery and fear of seeing the whole unit collapse. Without the anchor in the middle, Flores will have to get more creative than ever. But hold on, because what comes next is even more unbelievable. For 3 full quarters, it looked like the front office's gamble was a colossal mistake. J.J. McCarthy, who missed all of last season with a knee injury, had no rhythm and no confidence. Drive after drive ended in disappointment, short throws that scared nobody, and even a pick six. With every empty possession, the shadow of Sam Darnold, the quarterback who led the Vikings to 14 wins in 2023, hung heavy over the fan base. How could you let go of a proven leader to hand the keys to a rookie with 0 snaps? The uneasy silence from Vikings fans at Soldier Field said it all. But fate flipped the script in the final quarter. McCarthy came alive like a completely different player. Suddenly, every decision was sharp, every step in the pocket calculated. 3 straight scoring drives followed, 2 through the air and 1 dagger with his legs. It felt like the kid had saved all his confidence for the most tense moment, proving exactly why Kevin O'Connell and the staff rolled the dice. The message was clear. The future can't be judged by early stumbles, and if Darnold represented the safety of the known, McCarthy embodies the weight of the promise. Comparisons are inevitable, and critics already warned the gamble would cost dearly. But when O'Connell revealed he told McCarthy at halftime that he'd bring them back, the look in the rookie's eyes spoke louder than any stat line. That belief spread through the roster, fueling the collective surge. It wasn't just talent, it was the sense of everyone pulling together toward the comeback. The most symbolic piece was the contrast with the night's rival. Caleb Williams came out on fire, hitting his first 10 throws like a polished vet. But as he faded, McCarthy grew. The role reversal showed the NFL isn't only about raw skill, it's about resilience and poise, and in that, the Vikings rookie walked away a giant. The fan base, swinging between despair and euphoria, ended in catharsis. Social media erupted with theories, memes, and love letters to their new commander. From uncertain prospect to unlikely hero, McCarthy proved that, at least for one night, every ounce of trust was worth it. Now comes a hot update from behind the scenes, a forecast that could reshape the whole picture in Minnesota. If the win over Chicago boosted confidence, it also highlighted a wound that's been festering: the secondary. Caleb Williams had wide open lanes in the first half, connecting easily and exploiting spaces that simply shouldn't exist in a defense dreaming of a deep playoff run. Only after halftime did Brian Flores dial up the right pressure, but it was obvious reinforcements are needed. And it didn't take long for the debate to fire up. The 2026 draft might be the answer. One of the most talked about projections came from Draft Network, placing Colorado cornerback DJ McKinney with Minnesota in the first round. Analyst Jamie Eisner praised the kid's edge, his ability to work in man and zone, even if press coverage is a weak spot. To Eisner, McKinney could step right in as a starter and, crucially, replace Jeff Okudah, whose contract is set to expire. The thought of adding fresh legs alongside Byron Murphy Jr. is tempting. The vet has proven to be a leader, but he can't carry the whole load alone. Against elite quarterbacks, relying only on him is asking to get burned deep. With McKinney, the Vikings would gain youth, speed, and a corner who treats every snap as a personal duel. That's exactly the mentality needed to turn a shaky unit into a feared one. For fans, the name still feels far away. The draft isn't until April next year. But the Bears game made the urgency clear. Every easy completion raised frustration across social media. Some are calling for an immediate trade move. Others want to wait for college talent to land in Minnesota. Either way, with a tough schedule looming, the front office can't afford to whiff. Whether through the draft or a deal, reinforcing the secondary is inevitable. And if McKinney really dons purple and gold, he could be the missing piece Flores needs to design a defense with no blind spots. At the end of the day, to chase greatness, the Vikings must be just as ruthless defending the air as they are attacking on the ground and through the sky. Now get ready for the next update, spotlighting the rise of a very special rookie. Soldier Field hosted an unexpected hero. While all the spotlight fell on J.J. McCarthy, another young Viking quietly stole the show and might have been just as crucial as the quarterback. We're talking about rookie guard Donovan Jackson, a first-round pick who turned his debut into a statement. In a hostile environment under the lights of Monday Night Football, he delivered like a seasoned pro. 0 sacks allowed, 0 pressures, flawless pass protection efficiency. Jackson proved why that high draft pick could pay off right away. It wasn't just the numbers. The offensive line, which looked lost for much of the game, transformed in the fourth quarter. They gave McCarthy the time to launch, hit Jefferson, connect with Aaron Jones, and then run in for the dagger. None of it happens without clean blocking, and in that effort, Jackson was a cornerstone. For a rookie to hold up against Bears pressure without flinching, rare. Those who watched his shaky camp and preseason didn't see this coming. Even more impressive, he did it without Christian Darrisaw, the all-pro left tackle still rehabbing. That meant Jackson carried the entire left side responsibility, facing a defense that may not be elite, but punishes every mistake. Once Darrisaw returns and the partnership clicks, the Vikings could finally field a wall to protect their quarterback of the future. That changes everything offensively. From the front office angle, the impact is massive. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, hammered for early draft misses, now sees a redemption arc forming. With McCarthy, Addison, Dallas Turner, and Jackson shining, the perception of his tenure may shift. Building a franchise isn't only about the flashy stars, it's about nailing picks in less glamorous spots. And with just one game, Jackson already looks like the best guard Minnesota has drafted in years. For fans, it wasn't just a technical detail, it was proof the rebuild is real. The future isn't only in McCarthy's passes or Jefferson's routes, it's in the trenches, where games are truly won. If Jackson keeps this up, the Vikings just found a pillar for the next decade. And it's in this balance of young heroes and veteran anchors that the team's destiny begins to take shape. Vikings fans, it's impossible not to believe something special is brewing in Minnesota. We've seen McCarthy's improbable breakout, Cashman's painful setback, the bold gamble at quarterback proving it can pay off, the draft forecast pointing toward a needed secondary upgrade, and Donovan Jackson's electrifying debut. It's a cocktail of hope, tension, and strategy. But none of this means a thing without the energy of the fan base. Now is the time to support, question, and debate, because this journey is far from over. Which story hit you the hardest? And what other moves do you think this team still needs to make? Drop a comment, share this video, and hit that subscribe button for all the latest Vikings updates. Stay tuned. SKOL Vikings, let's go!